Hey, welcome back to class, and today we're going to learn how to sew a two-piece collar as a basic shirt collar. So for this you're going to need the two pieces of the collar. So you're going to need the collar itself and the collar stand, and this is my collar, the top collar, and the other part is my collar stand. So to begin, we are going to flip both right sides to face one another like so, and you sew along the top edge of this piece. So first of all, we're going to pin it together. Make sure your notches they match one another while you pin along. So you have to be very careful when you do this because you don't want your collar to be wavy or not to fit properly. So you need to pin it carefully. So as soon as you're done pinning, you take it to your sewing machine and you begin to sew along the top edge of the collar, the top part of the collar. So just be careful. You don't need to back stitch. Just keep going straight down. You don't need to back stitch at the beginning or at the end of the collar. So as soon as I finish sewing that stitch line, I cut off my excess thread and I go in and clip the inside of the stitch I just made, because the collar is not actually straight. It's kind of curvy in those areas, so I have to clip it because I want to top stitch on the part with my interfacing. You can see I'm pressing it down. I'm going to top stitch on that area. So I'll take it to my machine and I'll just sew along the top edge. And by the way, there's no need to back stitch when you do that. Just keep sewing away. As you can see, as I sew along, I keep opening the stitch line, keep opening both of them as much as possible so I can sew it down and very close to the edge, and so it will remain really flat when we are done. So as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to flip it over to one side and sew along that edge, this edge, on both sides, this side and the other side. I'm going to do that quickly, and so I'm going to trim off the excess seam allowance on that part, then I'm trim off the tip. So I'll try to fold it in and push it the other way out. This way it gives you a very nice edge like that. I usually like pushing it. This fabric's a bit thick, so that's why it's a bit bulky at that edge, but for lighter fabrics it usually comes out way better than this. So right now I'm going to take it to my ironing board and give it a very nice press, so it's all comes out looking really flat. So right now I just give it a press and it's looking really nice and flat, so it's ready to be added to the bottom collar. So for the bottom collar, you're going to see this edge which is curved. We're going to flip it the other way, upside down, because we want it to be we want it to curve downwards. So we're going to flip it and sew it the other way around. So I'm going to pin my notches. That's my center, and this is my shoulder. That's my shoulder notch line. So I'm going to just pin the first part to the collar before I go ahead and pin the second part. The reason I do this is because I really want it to be very accurate. I don't want to make any mistakes, so I usually pin it one after the other. So I'm going to put the other side to face the other collar stand. So I'm going to make sure my right sides are facing my right side and my left side, my wrong sides are outside. So I'm going to just pin it and make sure when you're pinning you catch every part of the fabric together. Catch both the collar and the collar stand together. So I'm just going to pin it in a way that is very comfortable for me, and this is me doing it. By the way, I don't know, my camera was out of focus, so I didn't really get the full coverage of some of this part. So anyway, this is me still pinning and making sure everything is okay. For beginners, this is a very great idea for you to pin, but if you're a professional and you can work without pins, that's also okay. But I do like to use pins at times, for especially for tiny parts like this. So I'm going to take it to my sewing machine, but before then I'm going to leave a gap of 1 centimeter at the very edge, because I want to attach it to my neck line. So I'm going to leave just 1 centimeter at the edge. So I'm going to start very slowly and very carefully, because it's a really curved edge. So I'm going to be going really slowly. You don't need to hurry up to do this, because a little mistake can cost you a lot of time on picking and going back to sew and ironing it all the way down. It's really frustrating when you need to unpick, but if you need to unpick, you need to unpick. There's a lot of unpicking in one sentence. Anyway, so I just keep sewing until I get to the other edge, and at the other edge I also leave 1 centimeter apart. I don't sew to the very edge of the collar stand, because I want to attach that bottom to the neckline. So when I sew the neckline, you'll see why I left that little piece there unsewn. I don't know, it's unsewn. Yeah, that little piece. So that's it. So right now I'm going to trim the edge of my seam allowance before I take it to iron. And the reason why I trim, I don't clip the edge of my collar stand. I don't do inverted triangles, because I feel it gives it a wonky look. I usually just trim it down. I trim it to like 0.5 millimeters, and if I flip it open, you understand, you see it's very smooth. When you clip it, it doesn't give it a very smooth and nice finishing. So I prefer to just trim it down, really trim it down. Then I'll go in and clip the other parts of the collar. So this is it. If I'm not satisfied with how it looks, I'll go back and trim it again. So I'm going to just clip the other parts of it. By the way, I'm using the Kai scissors for this project, and to be very honest, cuts like butter. So basically that's it. So I'm going to flip the collar stand to the right side, and I'm going to give it a nice press, and there my collar is ready. So I'm not going to top stitch right now, because I want to add it to my sewing project. I'm making a shirt, so now I just pressed it, and you can see how nice and flat and beautiful it looks. So if you like this tutorial, please give me a thumbs up, like, share, comment, subscribe, do everything to encourage me. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope to see you in the next one. And if you would like me to do something, please make a suggestion. Thank you. Bye.